Hello guys, Fubart here and welcome to the first of the 3 showcase videos that I'm gonna do for my account. Let's get into it. So, the first video is gonna be about the American faction, since this war I'm American, and we're gonna explain why do I have all those characters, what are their builds, what am I using them for, what badges I use, and all that stuff. Okay, first off we're gonna start with some tips for the infantry builds and what I have as infantry characters. And we're gonna progress to the other classes and gonna finish up with the conclusion. First of all, I have a guy with a SA rifle and a recoilless, and I'm using the infantry first and fast reload. Fast reload is obvious because the recoilless rifle has a quite long reload time. And infantry first, this character is mostly to snipe APCs from distance, or maybe snipe planes, which is not very efficient. I would recommend making a character with a stolen PTRD, PTRS, or Panzerbüchse. But if you don't have the credits, you can go for this option, which is, on the long run, I think it's more expensive because it's a bit difficult to hit planes. But the badges are infantry first, like I said, in fast reload because of the reload of the recoilless, and infantry first is mostly for me to snipe recon in infantry vehicles like APCs and jeeps. Second character, I have my Johnson guy. Don't mind the nicknames of the weapons. But yeah, this is my assault guy. I use on many of my characters Heavyset. It is very good badge, very commonly used, but very hard to grind. Also fast reload that complements the weapon that I have and all the weapons that you can pick up. This is a very solid badge that I like to use because it basically works for any weapon when you pick it up. The medkits and the wrench are the utilities that I've decided to put on this guy because it's my only guy that has a wrench and can repair stuff, and the medkits actually keep me alive for the longer time when I'm attacking points. Next guy, I have a classic bazooka and SA rifle build. This is my go-to anti-tank counter. He has Heavyset and Iron Fist. Iron Fist for obviously more damage to the tanks, and Heavyset to stay alive. I know some of you people like to use the fast reload, which is not a bad option, but I prefer the Heavyset because sometimes there is those pesky recons, or even not a recon, but like infantry sniper that will watch the tank, and with Heavyset you or even the tank can try to defend itself while you're shooting it, and you basically take one more shot and you have more capabilities to survive and to finish the job. Next character, I have an assault guy, which is purely in close range. It can be used for mid range as well, but I use it mainly when I play town, like between the buildings and that sort of stuff. The grenades complement the build. Medkit is also there to keep me alive, but the grenades is mainly for clearing corners or clearing anti-personnel mine. Of course, the badges are pretty much the usual. Fast reload because this weapon is very good with it, and Heavyset to just stay alive longer on the point. Next guy, we're gonna do my miner guy. This is a very must-have guy. I usually use it with an SA rifle because it's very good damage, good scope, and medkits just stay alive longer. Badges are Dynamite Lover and Heavyset. Of course, Dynamite Lover complements the main reason this guy is created. It's the mines. This guy basically is a defensive guy. Is planting up to 10 mines. Remember guys, you can plant up to only 10 mines. It doesn't matter if they're AP or AT mines. You can't plant any more than that per account. If you plant more, the first one will actually disappear and they're gonna overlap. So this guy is very, very cheap to maintain. Doesn't matter that he has mines. Those mines are very cheap and very effective, especially against vehicles, against German motorcycles, recon vehicles, and of course tanks. Our next character is my LMG guy. I'm using the 1919. I'm not a big fan of the bar. Some people like it. I think it's good, but it's not very competitive. Of course, the badges are Heavyset and Fast Reload. At the end, I'm gonna go through all of the builds, and I'm gonna show you what builds I have for what modifications I have for the weapons. So if you guys have any questions, you can put them down in the comments, or you can come to my Twitch channel. Of course, links are down below, and I'm gonna explain live whatever you're curious about. So for this guy, I have a LMG and pretty standard medkit, Heavyset, and Fast Reload. This build for the LMG actually is complemented by the Fast Reload badge pretty nicely. Don't need tight grip for this weapon. It's pretty easy to use. I really like it. Next guy is my infantry with a Thompson. He's also my card thief guy. I use him for if I can't, in a situation where I can't shoot the APC with my bazooka to destroy it, I can sneak in and quickly steal it, so people can't spawn on it. The grenades are also for clearing corners or AP mines. And the Thompson, of course, and medkits go together to stay alive on the points for a longer time. Next guy, I have my infantry sniper guy, which I don't use very much, but it's pretty fun from time to time to sit back, relax, and just get those long range snipes. Or even you can play, I usually play more aggressive sniper. That's why I have the pistol, which complements the slow bolt action rifle. And basically they get, it's a really good combo. And of course I have fast reload for the pistol and the sniper rifle, and medkits to stay alive for a longer time, so I don't have to wait for my teammates to heal me or to go constantly to med crates and heal myself. This guy, my next guy, is my PTRS guy. Basically, I've made this guy for killing planes. Anti-tank rifles are not very good for killing tanks, that's why we have bazooka guys, or anti-tank grenades, which I don't prefer. I like to shoot my targets from far away, because most of the time when you go to the tank, he manages to run away, shoots you, or somebody else is defending it, and it's very hard to get to them. So this is my PTRS guy. He's standard fast reload for the PTRS and the pistol. There is another build that you can use. There is no badge that you can use actually for doing more damage now to the planes. Over here, infantry first does not do more damage to planes anymore. It's just for infantry and recon vehicles, so that's useless. You can go for it if you want to snipe like cars and APCs, but that's why we have the recoilless in this faction. It's very useless to have to use an anti-tank rifle for anything else than killing planes. Also, the tank badge is not very useful. Just this weapon is purely to deny planes. I have my melee guy. I use this guy just to throw around. He's still not done yet. I still need to get the heavyset gold. But yeah, his build is gonna be, final build is gonna be baseball bat, PMK, anti-personnel mine. This is gonna be my only anti-personnel infantry character that I'm gonna use as soon as I deplete this medkit, since I bought it. As you can see, I depleted the grenades that I was using on it. But he's gonna be baseball bat, PMK, and 2 big medkits, complemented by the first aid, which is 100% faster healing, and a heavy set to stay alive. So basically, when he's gonna be planting PMKs whenever he has to, or just using the baseball bat to kill people and pick up their weapons, and then stay alive as long as possible with all those medkits. Okay, let's see. The rest of the characters that I have are pretty much characters that I use only for command points, and they don't have any other use for me. That's why I haven't bought any skins for them. But that's a good way to have bigger army and to gain more experience and actually grind more characters, grind more generals for the warm-up, which I'm gonna go in detail in another video. I jump on to the other classes now. Here I have my 2 pilots. Both my pilots have pretty much the same build, which they're not finished yet because one of the pilots will have anti-tank weapon and the other one will have anti-infantry grenades, because sometimes I use the recon plane to just jump down, to use him as a taxi plane and jump down on the ground, and if we don't have any paratroopers but we have recon planes, I usually use them like that to go behind enemy lines, snipe a tank, snipe an APC, or just try to cap the point with this guy. That's why he has so much utility and just a pistol. But yeah, the pistol, the grenades, of course, respectively, the anti-tank grenades are for sniping APCs and tanks. But range is mandatory for a pilot. He needs to repair the vehicle that he's flying with, and the medkit is just there to complement the character whenever he jumps on the ground to stay alive a little bit longer. But yeah, this is a very, very useful build to have. I've used it many times and it's pretty effective. Badges on both pilots are the same. They're bombs away for faster reload, faster resupply on the bombs, and the ammunition and mechanic to repair your plane faster. Some people usually prefer to go with airborne to spawn faster, or flak jacket. I don't recommend aircraft thief. I've played this game since 2014 and I've stolen planes maybe 3 or 4 times that whole time. But yeah, very useless badge. Airborne, not so useful as well, because if you're a good pilot, eventually you're gonna get a good, if you wanna get into flying, you're gonna get good, and your timer is gonna go down before you can get penalized with higher timers. So this badge is gonna be pretty much useful. Flak jacket used to give more health to the plane, but nowadays it's fixed, so it gives you only 50% less damage on the pilot. So not very useful for surviving in dogfights. I recommend those 2 badges. They've been working pretty good for me. Jumping on to the paratroopers, I only have 1 paratrooper on this faction, but in time I might work on a second one. I have 2 on just 2 on the German faction, but I'm gonna get into that a little bit later. So my paratrooper is mainly an assault guy. He has the free fall badge to ensure getting onto the point and not opening the parachute early and being sniped while falling, and fast reload complementing the weapon that I have, which is Johnson. You can go for SA rifle plus maybe a medkit, but I don't know, I prefer the LMG in this case. Next, we're gonna go for the tank crewman. I have 2 tankers just because I can have all of the classes and all the tanks that I want. Badges are mandatory. Badges mandatory for this faction, for this class, I mean, are gunner and mechanic. Some people like to use the infantry first, but that is very hard to grind, or it takes time. It's not hard, but it takes time to grind, and I don't think it's worth it. I would rather have those 2, mechanic and gunner, which is faster reload speed, and mechanic is 100% faster repair on your tank. But basically what tanks I use are the M36 heavy destroyer. This is heavy destroyer spawn. Medium, I use the Easy 8. Hellcat is my anti-infantry tank, since it got nerfed on the health. And the Pershing is a heavy. On the second tanker, I have the Stewart is a light tank. This Mingli is the basically whenever I'm playing with a group and we want to play together in a tank, this tank is very powerful if it's used by more than 2 people. Whenever you have 2 people on the cannons and 1 guy at least repairing, and he can jump in and out, and he can be in the MG on the top. M10 destroyer I use for tank versus tank when I want to fight other tanks, because the Hellcat dies very fast now, and it's very fragile. The Jumbo is another good heavy tank. I pretty much use it when we have heavy tank spawns, but I want to use him against infantry. Pershing is more like a tank v tank sort of situation. And of course the badges are not grinded to the max yet, but they're the same, gunner and mechanic. My builds on the both characters are a pistol, anti-infantry. This is for basically defending myself when I'm out to repair the tank. Of course the wrench and a medkit to stay alive if I have to heal myself. Please, for the love of God, put medkits on your tanks. Always medkits. No ammo, no Panzerfaust. This is a mandatory and very important thing to attract infantry towards your tank and to have a better chance to stay alive, because if infantry is around you, there is more chance for them to defend you from anti-tank Rambos. And it's very good. If you get shot, you can resupply your health on your tanker. You don't need ammo or Fausts. It's just useless, in my opinion. And the last and not least, my recon class. I have still 1 recon on the other factions. In the future, like the paratrooper, I might buy another recon, because I might use him as like 4x SA rifle guy. But I still haven't gotten to that situation that I think I'm gonna use him. Maybe when I finish the heavy set grind on this guy, but we'll see. Basically, heavy set and fast reload badges for this guy. Heavy set complements both weapons. Problem with this guy is he doesn't have a medkit. Although you can go with a smaller pistol and just have 1 pouch. Put it on and then put a medkit, so you don't have to go every time to a med crate to heal up whenever you get hit. But I like the pistol a lot, so I'm going with this build. Heavy set is just to keep me alive and not get one-shotted. And yeah, so I'm gonna go through my builds for the weapons, and you can see them also on my Twitch channel. There is commands for it. !US, G, or SU guns. There is links towards every single one of my builds. So without any more blabbering, I'm gonna show you 1 by 1 all of my builds for the weapons. Thank you again for being here, and thank you for clicking the like button. I hope you enjoyed the video, leave a like if you did. I'm currently streaming live on my Twitch, come say hello and tell me what you think about the video, links are down below.